AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Time down to floor.
Seth Greenberg on NBA Today. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson among players reinstated by Major League Baseball, making them eligible for baseball's Hall of Fame. Rose's and Jackson's careers were tarnished by sports gambling scandals.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, the Wolves are on the verge of getting to the conference finals, but would beating the Warriors without Steph Curry on the court actually be a good thing for Anthony Edwards? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Template. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. LSU inked the number one transfer portal class in America. They were already there coming out of the December portal window, and Brian Kelly was pretty forthcoming. So they would only really look to add anybody else in the spring portal window if it was, as he put it, an incredible opportunity. Apparently, adding AJ Haulcy was an incredible opportunity. Guy's a 3-year starter, a season at New Mexico, 2 seasons at the University of Houston. Now will play his final season of college football at LSU for the Tigers, and AJ Haulcy joins us on the show. AJ, it's a pleasure, man. How are you?
Man, I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. So Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium, that ain't new to you, man. You were here in 2022 with New Mexico. 10 tackles on the day as a true freshman. Tell me what it was like as a visitor in Tiger Stadium that day.
It was amazing. You know, that was a closer game to home, so all my family and friends got to come out and watch the game. You know, it was pretty hot, but that's what I'm used to, coming from Houston and right there at LSU, so I'm ready for it.
Hey, man, go back. You said coming out of high school, you know, you were in the Houston area there, Missouri City. By the way, who was a better player at Thurgood Marshall, you or Devon Achane?
That's a great question. He'll say himself, but I know it's me. He's the only time I tell. He's great. That's an amazing person, a role model of mine. So, yeah, that's a great player.
Y'all played together for 2 years in high school, right? Did y'all just wreck people?
Oh, yes, sir. We made it to state. They made it to state twice. I made it once. The first time they made it, I was a freshman. And the second time we made it, we fell short by 3 points. I was a sophomore. And we were between years.
So tell me a little bit about your high school recruitment. You know, coming out, obviously, you're a great player. I mean, you stepped right into the college level, and boom, you blow up. But you came out as a 3-star. What was that recruitment like that landed you at New Mexico?
I felt like I was under recruited. You know, I don't know what it was. I was always thinking that I was going to get more offers and more schools and more interest was going to come my way, but it just never fell. It just never just went that way. You know, every day I was waking up after every game, I was looking, checking my phone, just thinking like more opportunities was going to come, but it just never happened that way. Out of high school, I had 7 offers, think my biggest offer was Kansas, but they had a coaching change. So I end up, Coach Griffin ended up calling my phone, talking to me every day. So I ended up going to New Mexico.
AJ Haulcy's our guest. So, by the way, clearly you were under-recruited. You've been a 3-year starter in college football, and you've been all-conference everywhere you've been. Man, I was looking up your bio, man, and I went back and looked at that season at Fresno, the season when you played in Baton Rouge. I'm sorry, at New Mexico. You played a game against Fresno. We had 24 tackles in one game. Like, you're laughing. What happens in a game, AJ, where you make 24 tackles?
I had 24 tackles in the interception.
I'm sorry. I don't want to short in the pick.
Yeah, I just say I was flying around that day. I was just giving it all I got, and the tackles just coming to me. Really, I know after the first quarter, I was like, man, I just got to pick it up because I feel like I wasn't giving it my all. So after that first quarter, when I said I got to pick it up, I just came out there, running to the ball every single play. It was no play that I took off that I did not run to the ball. So I just felt like me running to the ball and just giving all I got, that's what I ended up with.
AJ, is there a point in a game like that, though? I mean, that's got to be the most tackles you've ever had in a game, right? Like biddy ball, high school, whatever. 24 is ridiculous. That's got to be the most, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is there a point in the game where, like, you go to the huddle and you're like, hey, fellas, a little help? Like, I'm making literally all of the tackles here. I mean, is there a point where you just know, like, you're coming in there going, I'm making every play?
No, that wasn't the mindset because during the game, I really didn't know that I had 24 tackles. My mindset was just like, shoot, God gave me this opportunity. I'm a freshman. Shoot, just give me more tackles, really. So, shoot, that wasn't really the mindset. I was just like, I'm ready to attack anything that comes in front of me. So,
AJ Haulcy's our guest. You'll get him on Twitter X. He's at _. Get him on Instagram as well. By the way, your nickname is Mr. Gimme That. How did you get that nickname?
I got it out of high school. My cousin, my cousin, the one that gave it to me. I had 7 interceptions in one season in high school. So after the last game, he just kept on texting me, Mr. Gimme That, because I had an interception in the last game that we played. So he just kept on texting me, Mr. Gimme That, so I just ran with it.
I love it, man. Print the shirts. Mr. Gimme That. AJ Haulcy's coming to Baton Rouge. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your recruitment. So you went back home to the University of Houston where you spent the last 2 years, and obviously, a standout 2-year starter there, all conference there in the Big 12 this past season. Led the nation in interceptions this past year. AJ, walk me through, if you would, your recruitment in the portal. When did LSU get involved?
In this portal?
Yes, sir.
LSU was one of the first school that my agency told me that hit them up. It was just like on a low-key level where, like, it wasn't really a lot of pressure behind them, but they was one of the first schools that hit up my agency about me. And then that's when I had another school. It was out of those 2 schools, so I was really thinking like LSU the whole way, for real. But, it was some moves that had to be made, but I was really thinking LSU the whole way, so LSU really been there from the jump.
I know you visited Ole Miss and Miami, and along the way, a lot of people were thinking you might end up there. Tell me something that you liked about Ole Miss.
I didn't visit Ole Miss. Ole Miss came out to visit me.
Okay, they visited you. Okay.
Yeah, they came out to visit me in Houston. And me and the coach, we had a conversation. It was more like of a football conversation because I had an understanding that I really wanted to only take one visit. So the schools was coming out to talk to me. But something that I liked about the coach at Ole Miss, he coached one of the former players that was at Houston, Isaiah Hamilton, and just the relationship he had with Isaiah, that just told me everything that I need to know. I feel like he was a good guy, so that was the best thing about that.
And tell me if I'm right on this, but it was, if I have this correctly, Zach Etheridge, who was one of your coaches at Houston, was on staff at Miami, so that was kind of a plug there. How much of a pull was it being recruited to the U?
Oh man, it was amazing. You know, Coach E, who is Coach Etheridge. You are correct. He did coach at Houston. He was trying to get me down there in Miami. You know, like I said, I was supposed to only go on one visit, but just the relationship me and him had, that made me take the second visit. So that's really why I went on two visits instead of one.
Got it.
Because of me and the relationship me and Coach E had.
So your visit was going to be LSU, but then you took the Miami visit because of that relationship and then visited LSU. Do I have that right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So then what was it when you ultimately did pick LSU? What was it about LSU that was the deciding factor for you?
I mean, it's LSU, man. It's not going to get no better than this right here. If this what you want and this what you're ready to sign and this what you're ready to do, and if you love the game of football, you know, it brings all that. You got the alumni, you got just the whole city of Baton Rouge just going to be out there just rooting for you. You got how many the stadium hold? 102 people. I'm just ready to show the world what I got.
You're going to get a big opportunity. A couple more minutes here with AJ Haulcy, LSU transfer safety. Hey, do you like playing free or strong better?
I like playing both, really. I like playing both, but to answer your question, I like to play strong safety more, just because I feel like it's more action. You know, you can roll down, you can go back, you can drop to the hook. You know, it's different variety of things that you can do, and that you can impact the game in as strong safety. That's how I see it. So I feel like I like to play strong safety more.
AJ, have the LSU coaches told you where they prefer you, free, strong, either?
They told me that we'll be working both. So, really towards the strong safety side, but we'll be working both. So,
okay.
Game time, y'all will see.
Yeah, I believe you, man. Mister, give me that. So, hey, where are you now physically? Like, weight? Have they told you what they want you to play at? Are you good weight? Where are you now?
I'm 6 foot 219. I feel like I get down to about 215, 217. Well, really, I'm good at this size, but for me personally, I want to play around somewhere like that. So I'm really good to go right now. If it was a game today, I'll be ready.
Man, I love it too. Your family's close by. They'll get to see you play every game in Tiger Stadium. That'll be awesome. Hey, one more thing for you. If could, I would assume you got recruited by Jake Olson, who's the safeties coach. What's been your opinion of Coach Olson or whoever else on the staff that you dealt with?
I feel like it's Coach Olson, Coach Baker, and Coach Joseph really just being in my corner, you know, just guiding me through this process, you know, taking on me and my family each and every day. I feel like those are some great guys, some great mentors, some great coaches just to be around and learn the game and learn how to become a man, you know. So I feel like they'll be teaching me that already, and I haven't even got there. So I can only imagine when I get there how much more I'm be able to learn, and that's what I was looking for when I hopped in the portal. So I feel like that was a great group of guys.
AJ Haulcy, LSU transfer safety. Appreciate so much a couple of minutes. Hey, man, I know I was talking to Francesco over at your agency, AP Sports Agency. I told him, like, if you had any brand deals or anything you want to plug, you can right now if you have anything yet, or we could do it another time.
I don't have no brand deals right now.
Cool. Let's get this guy. Let's get this guy some NIL deals in Baton Rouge in, man. How about that? AJ Haulcy, hey, it's a pleasure, man. Good luck in Baton Rouge, good health, and all that stuff. I appreciate a couple minutes today. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be well. That is AJ Haulcy. Good stuff, man. You gotta be excited about that dude. It is interesting. Let me follow up. Let me break and we'll follow up. But I want to talk a little bit about, kind of react a little bit to what he had to say there, including his process, where he said it was always just going to be LSU. He took the Miami visit kind of out of respect for Coach, as he called him, Coach E, who was his position coach at Houston, who went down to Miami. Hey, we're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Mother's Day's passed, graduation coming up, Father's Day about a month away. Gents, maybe drop a few hints for the lady in your life on Father's Day. What you want, get to Lee Michaels' beautiful watches, collection of Rolexes, other great Father's Day gifts. If you want to go to the website, lmfj.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. There's Father's Day gifts. You can click that tab right there. It'll pull up all the Father's Day gifts that they have in a variety of different price ranges. I tell you all the time, no matter your budget, when you walk in, you're always going to get the Lee Michaels experience. So I often say thrill her with a gift in the red box. But ladies, this Father's Day, thrill him with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We mentioned in hour number 1 how the Saints welcomed Asante Samuel Jr. on a visit Monday. They did also add a couple of more free agent signings that I want to talk about. We'll do that next on AFR.
AFR.
85 degrees. It's almost time, y'all. Pool season is here. You can be sitting outside when it's 100 degrees, not in a pool. Duplessis Builders can fix that, man. If you've dreamed of having a pool in your backyard, or maybe you have a pool that's dated and needs some TLC, some upgrades, some refurbishing, some renovating, Duplessis Builders can help you there as well. Listen, I love telling you about Duplessis for a couple of primary reasons. Yes, they do beautiful work. I mean, go to their Instagram. Go to any pool builder's Instagram. You're going to see beautiful pictures of pools, okay? Like, everybody can do beautiful work, but it's more the quality. It's the bones. Derek is an engineer by trade. He uses that engineering background to build you something that will last. It's quality. But also, you meet Derek Duplessis, you'll understand. Great dude, local, tons of integrity, someone you can trust. DuplessisBuilders.net.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio.
Never heard that song before. I just guessed that was the words.
It's a good one. You're going to like it.
I just guessed that was the words. Shout out Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Oh, yeah, they got big old farm equipment. They also got your zero-turn mowers, gators. Go check them out. Newest location coming in Baton Rouge on Pico. They just broke ground last week. Congrats to our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. New Orleans Saints held a rookie minicamp this past weekend. But as is often the case during rookie minicamp, teams will bring in veterans. They're allowed to bring in veterans on a tryout basis, just so you can have – it helps to have more bodies out there for practice, but it also gives you an opportunity to take a look at some veteran players that are free agents, maybe trying to earn a roster spot. And that was the case for several players who were trying out with the New Orleans Saints, several veterans, I should say, with NFL experience who were trying out for the New Orleans Saints. Chief among them was Donovan Peoples-Jones. And if I were to say, coming out of the draft, the biggest question, problem, issue, concern, reaction, however you want to say it, was the New Orleans Saints came out of the draft not selecting a wide receiver. And it was something we talked about a lot going into the draft. Remember, you had Chris Olave, 6 foot 187. Rashid Shaheed, 6 foot 180. You go sign Brandon Cooks, 5'10", 189. Like, you've got 3 dudes that are all the same. You needed a big-bodied receiver. If for nothing else, just to give a defense something different to look at to create a mismatch. I mean, you've got Bub Means, who's 6'2", and Cedric Wilson, who's 6'2", and Kevin Austin, who's 6'2", in respect to those guys. But I don't think any of us are expecting those guys to be impact players on your offense, which is something I and many of us all assumed for a team that was just aching for offensive skill, talent that they were going to do in the draft. They didn't. Here was Mickey Loomis after the draft, by the way, on not selecting a wide receiver.
Going into the draft, we probably would. There were some receivers that we really liked and we hoped that we'd have the opportunity to get, and it just didn't work out. So I think that's probably the one position that going into the draft you'd like to have. But when you follow your board and you take the value presented to you, and I think there was a couple times when we thought we were going to get a receiver at a particular slot, and that guy got taken a few picks in front of us, so it just didn't work out.
So it didn't work out, and it left the Saints still needing a receiver, and so they invited Donovan Peoples-Jones to work out at Saints rookie minicamp, and apparently it went well. 6'2", 204, so this is a bigger receiver than the guys you got. and he's been in the NFL for a handful of years. He was drafted in 2020 as a 6th rounder out of Michigan and played for the Cleveland Browns, and then was traded in 2023 from Cleveland to Detroit. And then this past year in Detroit in 2024, didn't play a game, spent the season on Detroit's practice squad, was let go, and now he signed here in New Orleans. And I will say, boy, it's tough to break through in Detroit. Like, you want to talk about having legit receiving threats. Remember, Detroit's got Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams. So they got 2,000-yard receivers on that team, plus Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a great receiving threat out of the backfield, Sam Laporta at tight end. I could understand why someone may struggle to break through and get targets on that team. But remember, it was Cleveland back in 2020 that drafted Donovan Peoples-Jones. Their coach, Kevin Stefanski, a couple of years after that, when Peoples-Jones was entering his 3rd season in the NFL. This is what Stefanski said back then.
Really, since the day we got him, as you guys know, we've talked about how dependable he is and he does what he's supposed to do and is where he's supposed to be. But I do see his game growing. I think his body control, catching the ball and contested catches has never been tough on for him. That's just one of the traits that he has. But in and out of breaks, some of the things we're asking him to do are maybe a little bit different than he's done in the past, and he's done a great job. And I think the quarterbacks like throwing to him. I think that's important as well.
I think it's important to note, it's a 6th rounder that made the team as a rookie in 20 in the COVID year, made it again in 21, made it again in 22, made it again in 23, and then was traded to Detroit, and then just saw his opportunity drop there in Detroit. This was Dan Campbell, by the way, before 2024 in Detroit on the expectation for Peoples.
It was to come in here and compete for that 3rd, 4th receiver. So that's kind of what we were looking for. And he's a guy I expect more out of too, and he knows that. Now, he's working. He works at it, man. He wants it. But we just need him to take another step here.
And apparently that didn't happen. Spent the 2024 season on the practice squad, ultimately was let go, and now he's in New Orleans with an opportunity to make a team that isn't very deep at receiver. So I'll continue to say, why not re-sign Marquez Valdes-Scantling? That's a guy who played 8 games for you a year ago after you had the injuries. In those 8 games, 35 catches, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was your home run threat, and he was a bigger-bodied receiver. He ended up signing with Seattle on a 1-year deal. You end up instead signing Brandon Cooks, an aging, declining player, in a multi-year deal when you had Marquez Valdes-Scantling in your building. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but here's a do-over with Donovan Peoples-Jones. We'll see if he can make it. So the Saints had a receiver, but they also had a safety in veteran Terrell Burgess. Burgess is an interesting story as well because this is another young veteran who is 26 years old. He was a 3rd-round pick of the Rams back in the COVID year in 2020. And ended up playing 30 games before he moved on to the Giants in 2022 and then Washington in 2023. So a guy that's been around the league. But listen, the Saints a year ago were bad at one safety spot. Tyron was very good. Led your team in tackles, or it was second behind DeMario Davis in tackles. And then Tyron's PFF grade was 81.3. Tyron still had a very good productive year. The spot opposite him was really a challenge. And Jordan Howden just hasn't really emerged as you hoped he might as a former 5th-round pick out of Minnesota. So you sign Justin Reed to a 3-year, $31 million deal. You draft Jonas Sanker out of the University of Virginia in round 4, which they seem to think is great value there. But they still felt like they had to go add more. And so now you brought in Terrell Burgess. Again, he was on a tryout basis, and you signed him. And if nothing else, this is going to add competition. Look, Burgess is a guy that's 26 years old. He's a former 3rd-round pick. He's a young veteran. He knows success. He was on the Super Bowl team with the Rams in 2021. So he's been to and won a Super Bowl. And he's also seen the other side of it, being on a pretty bad Giants team. So I look at it as young veteran depth to piece that room together, where you got a veteran in Tyrann Mathieu, you've got your free agent acquisition in Justin Reed, you drafted Jonas Sanker, and now you have a young veteran as well, sort of to complement Jordan Howden. It's probably a situation where those 3 guys are going to be competing for maybe that last roster spot, at safety. So we'll see how it goes. For whatever it's worth, Sean McVay, who, of course, was head coach of Rams, who drafted Terrell Burgess, talked about him before training camp a couple years ago.
He's got a versatile skill set. He's a guy that has the ability to play, that star, that nickel position. He can play safety. He's a guy that he's even bumped outside in, some situations at Utah we played corner, but it's been great seeing him healthy. He's just got such a great demeanor, great energy. He's one of those guys that always has a smile on his face, but he's tough. We're expecting good things from Terrell this year.
That versatility may be what can win you a job. If you can play nickel, star, safety, even outside corner where he played in college, that versatility and special teams, of course, is how you win a roster spot. Maybe that'll be Terrell Burgess's path to the field. So, for what it's by the way, the corresponding moves, the Saints waived safety Millard Bradford and running back Jordan Mims. So those are the corresponding moves for adding Donovan Peoples-Jones and Terrell Burgess. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're with us here. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. First South Farm Credit, tell you all the time, doesn't matter if you're trying to buy 20 acres to build your family's dream home. You see this so much with folks in New Orleans in particular where you're from New Orleans, you love the city, you work in the city, but you want a little more of a rural lifestyle. So people maybe move to the North Shore, they buy that land, they've got a location there in Tangipahoa Parish. So, you could, I believe it's in Amite, so you could buy your land on the North Shore, build your family's dream home, and commute into the city to work every day so you get the best of both worlds. First South Farm Credit can make that happen. FirstSouthland.com. FirstSouthland.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Go to FirstSouthland.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. We are going through our car receipts throughout the show today, pointing out many of you idiots who were critical of me 2 years ago for my Derek Carr take. Well, I brought the receipts today. Idiots.
Idiot.
We'll get to some more of those as we continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
I love telling you about how Glow Resources has grown because I love great success stories, especially Louisiana businesses. And Glow Resources and what Jareth Knockan and his team have built is that. I mean, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Miami, Orlando, Houston, the Golden Triangle. I mean, they're all over the place. They serve businesses all over the country and all over the world. It's incredible. But home base is still right here. Glow, their corporate headquarters, right there on Perkins Road near Pennington. It's at Perkins and Quail Oak. Drive down, you can't miss it. I mean, they've actually redefined the look of Perkins Road right there. If you check it out, it's gorgeous what they did with the gut renovation of that building. But most importantly, their touch point is here. If you're a business in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans, and you're struggling to find the right people to make your business the most efficient it can be, it doesn't matter what business or what position, Glow Resources can help. GLO. Check them out at glowresources.com.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Staring at me while I'm chugging along. She likes the way it's pulling while we're tilling up a land.
At Shadow Drinker X. Carr is instantly the best quarterback in the NFC South and one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. We might not win a ring, but we'll be in the mix.
So stupid, how are you not yet extinct?
If you're just joining us, I spent an inordinate amount of time going through comments on the original YouTube video 2 years ago when I lambasted the Derek Carr signing. And how many of you threw darts at me? Well, guess what? I got receipts. Chump like you, Michael Martin 4366. Yes, he's good enough to win a Super Bowl. And the Saints are a great organization with enough talent now to get it done.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Cassie, look, you can pull this up. So there's the guy's comment. If you go look, there's mine right there. Just 4 hours ago. Just 3 laughing face emojis at him 4 hours ago. I've had way too much fun with this, Muse. Just going through all these comments from 2-year-old comments, wasting time of my life going through 2-year-old comments that I've never read, but it is a treasure trove. It's like if you just happen upon some deserted island and then you find a wrecked ship with all this pirate treasure, all their loot. It's all just sitting right there. Rubies and gemstones and diamonds and gold coins and doubloons and things of that nature. Pirate skulls down there.
Look, I'll tell you, if you've enjoyed it and you've had fun, it's not a waste.
Maybe.
No, that's how that works, man.
At Saints fan, period. We have a star at every position. So how can't we win a Super Bowl? This guy only looks and thinks about bad things. We beat the Eagles last year without our key players and almost beat the 49ers. This dud don't make sense. I think he meant dudes. I got to reply to this guy now. Hold on. I got to do my laughing face emojis at this guy. I missed this one.
I missed this one.
I missed him. Hang on. Let's see this guy. Here we go.
The 3 laughing face emoji. Why does everybody, when you do emojis, why do you always normally put 3? Like, when did that become the designated number? Like, 3 laughing face,
Rule
3
of 3.
smiley faces. Yeah, the rule of 3.
One feels like maybe you're not emphasizing it enough.
Okay.
You know, like if you just do a thumbs up, it's like, okay, whatever. But if you go like, you're like, bum, 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 thumbs up. But if you do too many, then it's like, wait, is he being
did he really
a little
mean
excessive?
that? Yeah, exactly.
Like, is this hyperbolic usage there? Maybe. No. Cool. I love this.
What you got? You got another one?
Oh, I got tons.
Let's go.
Now, there are some people who have said, I'm happy they signed Derek Carr because it means Mickey and DA are going to get fired.
Half that was true.
Half of that was true.
Yeah.
Senor Juan 2023. Matt seems to forget how many injuries the Saints have had the past 2 years.
Oh, Lord.
We should win at least, all caps, at least 10 games this season.
What are you, a moron?
I need to give him some laughing emojis, too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, he's got to get them. Here they come. Here come your laughing emojis, friend.
Guys playing right out of the Mickey Loomis playbook of excuses there. The injuries. Had a lot of injuries here.
Well, Muse, you know what they say when you got injuries and things aren't going your way.
I do, I promise.
Mm.
Yeah, that was my bad. I even said before the show, I'm like, we got to have this.
And you didn't pull it up?
No, I didn't at that point.
Oh, Muse, Jesus.
Oh, hey, oh, wait, it was just there.
All right, turn off your microphone.
Yeah.
Turn off your microphone. You go to timeout. Actually, don't go to timeout because I need you to do this segment.
One of the things that good organizations do, man, you look beyond the results.
That's what you do, Mick. Nailed it. Okay. All right, LSU is going to play SMU. We learned about that. Muse found a thing at CBS. It's some guy who I've never heard of who did a thing. It's like 5 questions about that series. So what are the 5 questions about LSU and SMU?
I'm glad you asked, Matt. So here's what we got.
We got a little music.
We got a little music.
We're dressing this thing up.
Look, we had to make up for the Mickey Loomis folly right there.
This is not making up for it.
I don't know.
You just threw a boat anchor right through the middle of that ship and dragged that thing to the depths of hell is what you just did.
With the pirates and all their loot and everything there, huh?
Well, no. Because all that loot went to the depths of hell, so it's never to even be recovered.
Well. All right, question number 1 about LSU and SMU.
Okay.
Will Brian Kelly still be at LSU?
In 2028, 2029?
Yep.
Let's see, so that would be a year. So 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be his 7th year. So the question is, would you fire him after 6? Which would mean you'd still owe him about $30 million. I do not think they're spending $30 million about Brian Kelly. I mean, paying Ed Ogeron 17 in a buyout was massive. And then you'll be in the heart of the rev share era. So yes, I do. The only way he's not is if like they win the national championship this year and he retires. That would be the only way he's not the coach in 2028.
All right, so come 2028, 2029, will SMU or LSU have more CFP appearances?
So LSU has one, right? 2019.
Yep.
And SMU has one from last year.
Yep.
I would even count like LSU's more difficult. They made a 14 playoff.
Yeah.
But
True.
anyway, I think LSU's making it this year, so I'll go LSU.
Okay. What will SMU's conference affiliation be?
Oh, it'll still be the ACC.
Oh.
I don't think by 2028 we're at the point where, because the next move is going to be the dissolution of conferences, and you either have just the SEC Big Ten or it's the dissolution of all conferences and you go to the one college football that I've talked about literally since 2011 when we had that seismic shift where it looked like everything was going to go to hell, and Texas and OU, remember, we're supposed to go to the Pac. Were they the 10 or the 12? I guess they were the 10 and then became the 12 that year. That's the next move. I've been saying that for 15 years, 14 years now. But that's what's going to happen eventually. We're just not going to have conferences. It's just going to be college football like the NFL with one TV deal. So the answer to your question is they'll still be in the ACC.
Okay. Question 4. Are quarterbacks for the matchup on the 2025 rosters?
Hell no.
Yeah, that was a really bad question. I'm not going to lie. That was really bad. I think our guy just needed 5 questions, so he snuck that
What's
one
our
in
guy's
there.
name? What's our guy?
Hold on, I have to scroll up to the top of the article.
He's our guy.
He's our guy. Shihan Jirahara?
Nailed it.
I think that's it.
Nailed it.
Yep. I think he had 4 questions, and he needed another one. He just threw that one in there. So we're going hell no on that one? Not just no, but hell no?
On what one?
Are the quarterbacks for the matchup on the 2025
Oh, hell
team?
no. Yeah, no shot.
Question.
I don't know that LSU starting quarterback next year against Clemson is on the roster right now.
That's a good point. Question 5, and the final one.
By the way, the 2026 Clemson game in Baton Rouge, what I'm saying. Obviously, Nussmeier starting this year, just so there's no confusion about what I just said. Yeah. Got it.
Question 5. Will this matchup even happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all of them. That's 5.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. I had to bring my Volkswagen, my Atlas Cross Sport, over to South Point today. I had to do some stuff to it. And so they're always very kind that when I need a loaner, Brad over there's awesome. He'll give me a loaner for the day. But it was great to pop in. I love to go visit my friends over at South Point. A couple of things. Number one, I was visiting with Mr. Kerry Manuel, who's the certified pre-owned manager, and he always stresses this to me. If you're searching certified pre-owned, like there's a lot of certified pre-owned lots or pre-owned lots that have like a giant selection. But remember, at South Point, they move so much inventory, so they get a lot of trade-ins, but the quality of their trade-ins are incredible. All different makes and models, not just, they do have Volkswagen, certified pre-owned Volkswagens, but all different makes and models. So I would strongly recommend if you're searching for, looking to buy a maybe it's a thing where you got a graduate, instead of buying him a new vehicle, you're going to buy him something pre-owned. You get a great vehicle at a great value over at South Point. So make sure you shop there. But of course, if you're looking for a Volkswagen, 2.9% right now, or a APR, check it out at South Point Volkswagen for all the amazing deals. They have one of the electric VW buses. Did you say pinch buggy or punch buggy? Did you ever do that when y'all were kids?
Yeah, punch bug, no punch back.
Yeah, did you do that, Cassie, too? You and Jesse, you'd punch each other?
Well, I did.
Did you pinch or punch?
I would punch my sister, but
yeah, you would.
My mom would like get mad at us punching each other, so she was like, "How about we just give each other a kiss on the cheeks?" So we'd call them kiss buggies instead.
That's no fun.
She didn't like the punching, but we still punched each other.
Kiss buggy?
I don't like that as much.
I think we called them pinch buggies. We would say punch buggy or pinch buggy. I can't remember what we did. But you see either but it like the car was 1 point. If you saw a van, it was 10 points. That's how we played. But anyway, they got an electric one. I think I'm going to go drive it on Friday. I was really intrigued. South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, y'all. It is after further review. Glad you're hanging around with us here. When we come back, Muse, excuse me. There we go. Muse will do Tigers in the pros. What else? Oh, we did the LSU-SMU 5 questions. Muse will do Tigers in the pros. Oh, the Saints signed a quarterback as well. So in 15 minutes, we talked about the 2 additions that they had with Donovan Peoples-Jones and Terrell Burgess, the veteran free agents. But they signed a rookie, another undrafted rookie free agent, a quarterback. And I want to talk about him because he's a fascinating story. We'll do that in 15 minutes. It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Goodwood, men's sexual wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Y'all, when I talk to you about hormone replacement therapy, I know, I get it, right? Goodwood, it's punny, the name, the logo with the little steeple, everybody laughs at it, I get it. But what we're talking about is hormone therapy, in particular testosterone therapy. And every single man as we age, every woman, every person, as we age, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. And when we talk about testosterone, this contributes to your muscle health, your strength, yes, your sexual performance. You want to boost productivity, boost energy, boost mood. All of that is contributing. There's so many studies that talk about prostate health, heart health, and all the conjunction and correlation with healthy testosterone levels. Learn more. yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Dan's what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Shout out to the good old tractor people at Sunshine, sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. Great supporters of the Tigers, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Of course, when you get out there, pitching changes at the box, sponsored by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. And they are hiring for the parts counter in Donaldsonville and New Roads. So if you want to apply, work for an awesome company, sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. Musso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll begin with Paul Skeens. Couple different notes for Paul Skeens. Let's start with his outing from a night ago first. You remember yesterday we said he'd go out there, pitch well, and then the Pirates wouldn't score any runs, so he would get the loss.
You will remember it.
That was kind of true. Paul Skeens pitched really well. The Pirates did lose, but Skeens didn't get the loss. In fact, he was in line for the win. And then in the 7th inning, the reliever blew the save. 6 innings, an earned run, 3 walks, 6 punch-outs for Skeens. He still continues to be awesome. And he'll take that awesomeness to Team USA. Paul Skeens tells the MLB Network on Tuesday that he plans and intends to play for Team USA in the 2026 World Baseball Classic, set to begin the first week of March, obviously next year. That's awesome. Makes a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does, man. He wants to represent the country, former Air Force guy. It makes a lot of sense. I love it. And
who cares?
I'm fired up for it.
World Baseball Classic, stupid. Who cares?
The World Baseball Classic was awesome.
Stupid.
Oh, very much disagree. Very, very much disagree.
Stupid.
Very entertaining.
Pointless. Right in the middle of spring training. No thanks.
Better than spring training.
It might be, but let Paul Skeens get injured or anybody get injured in the World Baseball Classic.
He could get injured in spring training.
I can deal with that. I can't deal with being a stupid made-up tournament. Stupid.
Support the country. Dylan Cruz.
I support the country a lot. I support the country. I support Louisiana, which you don't, Muse. I'm drinking Evermore right now.
I do
a great
Louisiana.
Louisiana product. What stupid water do you drink, Muse? You know what you drink? You drink that stupid, crinkly, awful water bottle from Texas because you're cheap is what you are, Muse.
I support Louisiana.
No, you don't.
I do.
Drink Evermore and prove it. And I also support the United States of America. Go USA. If there's one thing about the story that I do like, it's that it's an LSU grad who was born in Louisiana. Well, he wasn't born here, but played here, who actually is representing the United States of America in international competition, not being someone born in Louisiana, going to high school in Louisiana, college in Louisiana, and wearing another country's damn flag on his chest, competing for another nation. I ain't down with that, Muse. Oh, he's going to piss the people off with that. Don't care. Go USA.
You're never going to be over that, are you?
Never.
Yeah,
I cannot fathom ever being born in America, raised in America, and representing another country in international competition.
Paul Skeens won't.
When I have the opportunity to represent America.
And I think he's going to be the key to the USA taking home the World Baseball Classic next season. It's going to be awesome. Dylan Cruz was 1 out of 3 a night ago. Drove in a run with that single. Also walked. Pretty productive night for Dylan against the Atlanta Braves. And then NBA playoffs a night ago. Naz Reid, 24 minutes. Shot 50% from the floor.
Should have stayed.
Also added 3 steals to his night. He was really good. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Drink Evermore. Unlike Muse, who hates Louisiana. What was I supposed to do here? Oh, you can email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Phil McGill said, hey, Matt, the NFL has conferences. Yeah, Phil, wake up, dork. What I'm talking about here is it's one TV deal. It's one pot of money. There's not a different TV deal for the NFC South and the AFC West, Phil. Why are some people like that so dense? Oh, Matt, they have conferences. Jesus. Yeah, whatever. Good break.
After further review.
Hey, we're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020. Or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Hey, graduation's coming up. Maybe the best gift you can give that graduate is LASIK. Give them the gift that they will take literally every day, forever with them. Give them the gift of their sight. Ditch the contacts and glasses forever. The Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. Also, if you're wondering about cost, for example, they do have financing available. 0% deferred interest for 24 months. They have a cost calculator on the site, so you could look at the lifetime spent on contacts, glasses, supplies, all that stuff. LASIK is going to be more cost effective. Learn more at WilliamsonEye.com. Call them at 924-2020 or online, WilliamsonEye.com.